Hey guys. Hey guys. Take two. Take two. I don't know what to say about most of these people out there. The prophetic word thing is just really a funny little deal now, of course. And the joke that I got most recently was the one of the one of the more favored ones recently because it was just recent and they anyway. um, but then they were already connected, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, their deal was God's wanting you to just listen to him and not these others. I'm thinking, well, you gotta try talking to me one on one instead of going through some chick somewhere. It's like, well, I heard a voice and I think it was God. And I don't know who this is for, but God wants me to tell you that my schizophrenia medicine wore off and I'm hearing voices again. Oh no. Or what? Oh. Have you noticed how many schizophrenics are out there these days? And that put an unctioning in my spirit to look around and make abstract connections to some weird logic that isn't logic and derive messages from the fact that I saw a word over here and smelled this smell over there and ended and my belly flopped too. Oh, there it goes. It was a sign from God, or the ones I would like is I heard a voice say, really? Well, the one thing I was taught was you don't know who you're talking to. You don't know who that is. Sure, it may sound like them. It may feel like them. Well, however it is that you can feel people, which is strange. You kind of can, I think. Then again, maybe that's just a box full of traits that come along with it's how many different plugs you plug in, so that they get all these different sensations and all the sensory input, extra sensory input. So why would I trust any of them really? How after 18 years of failing with that, right? How could we trust it? And knowing full well that a couple of these have been speaking for just demon dogs or whatever, not actual the god, but just someone considering themselves a god. Well, I mean, they might be a god of sorts, etc. Looks like they're completely contingent upon electricity for to be as large as they've grown. Anyway, because they don't broadcast like that. So I don't know who. I mean, I listen to that and I'm like, well, does that mean I should only listen to that one prophetess? Because there's a couple of real pretty ones I discovered not too long ago. There's that one that looks like another part of the Cool Corporation, and like it might actually be a different, younger version of that main character that seemed to be a powerhouse coming through as like the unseen section of that which you knew. And if that sounds like code words, then that means you don't understand or know, and that's okay. Because if you do understand and know, then you understand what I just said. Now this other one, this one is the one little one, is so it's cute, and but it was very entertaining because I saw the other day where they were like, since I've been, and basically I think what they were basically saying was, since I've been invoking Jesus, right? My channeling abilities have really ramped up. They've really taken off, and I'm thinking, well, who were you channeling before then? Are you channeling the Jesus now? Because Apparently they are. And they were talking about maybe even going back to doing real fasting. And I'm thinking, well, I am starting. I got to a certain point where I was like, all right, well, I'm eating real food, and now, now my attitude's starting to change, and how I feel about it against changing, and I know that what's happening is whether it be natural or not, I'm having this inclination that's going to steer me back towards this other diet, which is a lot lighter and more vegetables in it, and because like the stuff I'm getting is like real easy to process, and I'm thinking about I'll probably, before I get to the point where I'm fully fasting again, I'll get to that point where I'm doing the one meal a day thing, just as a conditioning. In other words, I'll run a mile, and then the week after that, I'll run 2 miles. And the week after that, I'll run 3 miles, and get it down to cereals. Just cereal in a bowl. What I was saying, the Seinfeld diet. You're always eating your cereal. Um, let's see, what should we go watch? Seinfeld or watch another Tom Cruise movie? Leave it in the comments below as to which one you believe would be the best choice. I will tell you, I'm interested in my knowledge being increased and my abilities being increased and my understanding and comprehension bumped up at several levels. And so we're willing to learn, from, and always have been. And of course, basically from wherever we can get that information, as long as it's reliable information. And so, and we did find one the other day who's calling herself Grammy. And I'm thinking, well, I don't know, because I listened to what she was saying, and she seemed real familiar, and I seemed to want to argue with her and, cut her, and like every time she went to go to make a point, go, yeah, well, what about this there, Grammy? Or what, because it's like, you want to talk about money and say, well, how'd you get those clothes? Are we here to work? No, that's not what we were here to do only. Okay? But that was part of the backdrop, right? Well, that was in. You're supposed to have something for the people who are on automatic pilot who don't think or sense anything, and so they can at least that they're still doing something. Maybe you can call them NPCs, but at least they're part of the game. Was it all about work and making money? No, but and certainly it wasn't supposed to be slavery for all of us. But still, it is a part of what does give an excuse to so many other activities that could surround that. People have built communities around work, okay, and the stuff that went with that work, and the morality that came down from and or with that company, and blah blah blah. It's just and again, there's lots of excuses for interactions, right? Of course, with the way they perverted the world, they took it from you're going to find everything you need in your own backyard, Dorothy, to you're never going to find it, and everything's a challenge, and every damn relationship is a damned relationship, and it's a challenge. And because why? Well, half of it's dead, isn't it? When do we get to leave the dead world? We promised we were going to get to leave the dead world. So, but I digress, don't I? So, will we be in contact with more people here in the near future? I think so, especially after the getting out there today. It seemed like there was a larger group of nicer people around. But I'll cover that in another video here in a little bit. So, onward and upward, that's the word. That's all we're going to be doing. And yeah, we're going to be working on moving back towards fasting. We're not going to jump into that right now and, boom. We're not going to do it like that. So, all right, we'll talk to you soon. Oh, and thanks again for your prayers and all your support and love, because we have improved again. We have healed a little bit more, and I'm talking about the physical healing. we were actually able to lift the case of water and mostly get it up the steps today until we had to set it down and go up a couple steps. But we've been able to get a lot more done and was able to carry a whole bunch of stuff in without feeling like we were absolutely in danger of dying or anything like that at all. Just felt like, you better stop for a minute, But yeah, so thanks very much on that. We'll talk again soon.